Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, TGIF. I'm Philip Simon.
It is certainly a joy to be in your company this wet Friday.
Wet.
Yeah, I mean, the roads are flooded, Phil.
Wet. Like Mark would say, what do you say? Very wet. Wet this morning.
Very wet.
Very wet. Dead wet. Dead wet. That's right, Dorothy.
Dead wet. Yeah, dead man. Wet. These summer showers are a lot.
It's amazing. I mean, coming down all the way from out west, Bay Street was just, you needed a boat.
Yeah, you did.
You tried to cut off on Dazzle Street?
I cut off on Dazzle Street like a fool.
That's what happened, yeah.
And I just was, I just floated through. I didn't even drive. I said, you know what, let me just let the car float through and I will get here eventually.
Is there VAT on boats?
I think there is.
There is?
So this is why we need to get the helicopter and put Sunrise on the outside. There's no VAT on helicopters or planes. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. So government approvals, if you can make that happen, that would be awesome.
Awesome. But speaking of awesome, we've got an awesome show today. You mentioned it on Monday. We got them today. We got those kids, those students, wonderful students in this morning. You're going to be doing that interview.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We also have the guys from the Spot 242. They're going to be bringing the funny even harder.
Yeah, that's what they say.
That's what they say. Harder. Funny summer.
And in addition to that, of course, we've got Marlon Johnson here, the financial secretary. We're happy to have him. Hopefully, Phil can get that boat clearance for us. And we're also going to be talking and hearing from some of the winners in the pop category of the Clement E. Bethel National Arts Festival. So it's going to be an excellent show. We're really looking forward to it. But we also want to know what the weather's going to look like. I wore my rainbow dress today.
Listen, why are you doing it this morning, man? I just Foxy Brown up in here.
Foxy Brown, taking it back to the 70s.
Shake it, bro. There you go.
No, the truth is, I needed to bring some sort of color and life because the rain has just been going on and on and on. So I hope that Godfrey has some good news for us. We're going to turn things over to him now with our first look at weather. Here he is.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star. Good morning, Bahamas, and it's going to be dead wet again today, but we have a better weekend in store for you. Otherwise, less rains during the weekend. We do have high pressure building across the islands. Still have some fragments of that mid-level trough across the islands that would trigger most of the showers last night, causing some of the flooding in those low-lying areas, particularly Bay Street and Dazzle Street. But we expect some relief by the weekend as a high pressure builds across the islands. So today, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, just morning, some clouds by afternoon. Still humid, still hot, and there's a chance of a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms. One or two may become heavy at times. High temperature 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight we're looking at partly cloudy and muggy, and there's a chance of a few showers and possible thunderstorms late night, early morning. Your low temperature going down to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 83 and 78. In Jamaica 84 and 75. In Trinidad 86 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 87 and 76. Across North America, Atlanta 88 and 73. In Raleigh 92 and 73. Miami 90 and 79. Dallas, Texas, 99 and 80, and Toronto, Canada, 75 and 65. As we go through the weekend, we're going to look at partly sunny skies, still hot, still humid, and yes, there is a chance of 1 or 2 showers. We're in the summer, so convective conditions will happen during the afternoon hours for a couple hours. Temperature daytime will be in the low 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts a wrap on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, on Monday, Phil and I couldn't stop bragging about the 162 public school students who was celebrated at the Ministry of Education's Public School Scholars Award ceremony this past weekend. You might remember the viral video of valedictorian Omar Davis or the heartwarming story of top graduate from R.M. Bailey, Shantice Johnson. And of course, the woman that made it all happen from the Ministry of Education, Miss Money Kinsey. They all join us today. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Pleasure to have you all with us. I know this is early in the morning, so y'all may still be a bit tired, except for you, Omar. You look like you're ready. You up and ready for the day.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what it's all about. Monique, I'm going to get started with you.
Sure.
You've been with us before to talk about the opportunities available for all of our students across the Bahamas abroad. You're now consulting to the Ministry of Education and, of course, dealing directly with the Public Scholars Program. How much pride did you have when you saw 162 students get access to scholarships and university opportunities?
Listen, it's unbelievable. In 2015, we started out with 19 students.
Wow.
2016 was 58. 2017 it was 140, and this year it's 162.
Wow.
What I do want to say is last year, although we had 140 students who received the award, only 121 were able to accept it.
Okay.
Simply because of, you know, challenges with visas and trying to find sponsors. Even though I would say 80% of the tuition Women Board is covered, there's still a lot of funding required to help students make that transition from here to there.
Okay.
And some students just did not have the financial support to fill that gap.
Okay. So how can we as a community help? Because I'm going to get into these stories in a second, and I'm sure once I do, people will want to be able to stand in that gap for our students. How can we reach to them? How can we
Well,
reach
there
out to you?
are a number of avenues. First of all, we start out with Coats for College. Coats
Okay.
for College is an initiative that was started last year to encourage the community to give gently used coats or brand new coats away to these students who are making their transition. Last year we were able to secure 70 coats out of the 121 that went to school. On top of that, listen, as simple as an airline ticket
Okay.
or a couple of dollars towards an airline ticket, or even for, in a case like Shantish and Bodomar, their tuition Women Board is a full ride.
Excellent.
However, to qualify for a visa, they have to show that they have at least $10,000
On their account.
on their account.
So if somebody was willing to sponsor them, that would be a
If
great
someone
help.
is willing to sponsor them, then that takes a lot out of it. While sitting in church on Sunday, I got a text from someone on Facebook saying, how much money does this kid need,
Okay.
right? Shanti doesn't know, but someone Facebook messaged me and told me they've secured $1,000
All
for her to
right.
get there,
Excellent, Shanti.
along
Well,
with a
good to
ticket
go.
and 2 coats.
Okay.
But she's still in need of a sponsor to help
Okay.
her to get there.
Okay, well, let's talk to them and find out their stories. And
Sure.
of course, only good things happen when you come to Bahamas at sunrise. So when you all leave there today, we're going to claim it and receive it, that everything will be covered. Your visas will be set, everything that you need in addition to your room and board, your spending money, your book money, it will all be done. Because when I hear your stories, I am so inspired and so encouraged. And Shantish, I'm going to start with you. You are a student from Auckland originally, right? All right, and you said when you had the opportunity to speak with the cameras at the Public School Scholars that you stayed in 14 different homes.
It was 13.
Okay.
And 15, I moved 15 times.
15 times,
Yes, sir.
13 different homes, coming from Auckland, living in Nassau. And you said, and this is very powerful for me, that the only thing that you had consistently throughout this moving was your brain, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk to me about what that was like for you to stay focused even though you had to keep moving from home to home.
It was hard, of course, but knowing that I was the only one to stop the hardship for my mom and my brother, I kept pushing regardless. And there were times that I lost focus at a point, but I got back up and I pushed forward.
Okay, and so keeping your mom and brother at the forefront of your mind and wanting to make a difference in their lives, obviously, is what kept you going even when the times got hard. Excellent. So what is it that you're going to go off to study now?
Finance,
Finance. Okay, and you plan on coming back home to the Bahamas?
of course.
Of course you do. All right, which university have you been accepted into?
Central State University.
Central State University. Omar, you going to Central State University as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So now y'all have 2 friends, 2 Bahamians in the mix that will be in good company. Where is Central State University located?
In Wilberforce, Ohio.
In Wilberforce, Ohio. So we need those coats to happen for Omar and Shantish. Omar, your story, of course, has been breaking WhatsApp, breaking Facebook. I saw it on Sunday. It had 20,000 views then, so I don't know what it's up to now. But people were really moved by you. And I think it's because for so many of our young men in our society, people in your circumstances go the opposite way. What about your father's life made you decide that, no, I need to stick it out and be the best person that I could be academically?
Because I didn't want to live that life. Mostly every night, police knocking on our door, kicking down our door, searching for drugs and guns. And he told me not to be like him, so I just wanted to make him and my other family members proud.
And do you think he is proud of the man that you've become?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're going off to Central State University. What will you be studying there?
Finance.
Finance as well. So I
Yes,
got two
ma'am.
people coming back to make sure that we have this financial industry intact once they return home.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Omar, do you have any encouraging words that you would want to say to other young men who may be a bit lost? You know, some of them may have fathers, some of them may not. Some of them may be well off, some of them may not. But any words that you really want to say to young men about the importance of academic education?
Well, I'd say education is important, and don't let your current or your past circumstances define who you are. Just do your best and stay focused.
Okay, do your best and stay focused. And for you, Shantish, any words of advice you want to give to other students out there who may be going through a tough time, whether it's moving homes or switching up things with family or even leaving an island? Words of encouragement that you would want to give them?
Push forward because it's only for a season and better is yet to come.
Okay, I mean these people, we could quote them, man. They all have books to write, I'm sure. All of that greatness is definitely in there. As you look forward to the future, what are you most excited about with this opportunity to go to college, Omar?
Well, I'm excited for the different cultural aspects
Okay,
and to meet new people.
okay. New cultures, new people, and what about you?
Basically the same thing, but of course the snow.
The
yes.
snow? Okay, this one like coal. See, I didn't do the coal.
So she says.
So she says. So she
says.
feel it, right?
So she says until she gets there.
Omar, people often say like nothing good can come out of Camp Road, or you know they refer to Camp Road as a ghetto. What do you say to that? How do you say to people that there's still something here to be seen and something here to do?
But it isn't where you start, but it's where you end.
Okay. And how important have people been in your life, like mentors or teachers or people pushing you along the way?
Well, if it wasn't for them, I honestly don't know if I would be here right now. Because without the encouragement, I needed the encouragement.
All right. Shantish, any words you want to give to your mom this morning as you sit out there at the Bahamas at sunrise?
My words just can't express how much I really appreciate her and what she have done for me and what she has been through for me, and I
Okay.
just really love her.
Excellent. All right, Miss Cindy, I'm going to give you the final word here. Going from 15 back when you started to 162 now, still needing people to help to cover the final expenses for these students. What are the final words you want to leave the Bahamas with this morning?
I want to say that all is not lost.
Okay.
You see two students sit before you who would have risen above very, very challenging circumstances. And perhaps it's the case for a lot of the 62 students that are heading to college. Some of them are emotionally scarred. Some of them are still battling past circumstances and still don't know how. For many of them, it's a dream. They in their mind, they've still not embraced what has been offered and extended to them.
Okay.
And, you know, it takes a village.
Okay.
And I'm calling on the village of the archipelago of the Bahamas, because we have students that are across the archipelago to step forward. And if you can give a coat, give a $20, a lot of these kids are coming from very hardened communities.
All right.
And they need to know that we are cheering them on.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. Looking forward to amazing things happening in all of your lives. And for you to continue to be blessed, Ms. Hinsey, as you bless these students. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sunoil Bahamas.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
The quickest way.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Last month we explored finding your design style. And of course, interior designer at the Bahamas Design Center, Sarah Gardner, is back to talk a little bit more about bathrooms and wallpaper and just, summer styles.
New
Welcome
stuff
back.
in the store. Thank you.
Welcome
Good morning.
back. Welcome back. So what's new at the Bahamas Design Center?
So we've got a whole bunch of new stuff coming in. Some beautiful giftware like these bowls, these trays, which are really amazing. You can see them in the picture there.
Yeah.
There's a whole load of variety of styles and trays, and the cool thing about these is that you can change the bases out with the tops.
Oh, wow.
So you can see some more driftwoody style trays there. We've got picture frames, all kinds of gifts and those kinds of things.
So when you say change the bases with the top, so you can literally buy bases separately?
You can buy the base separately and change the top and just switch it out, and you want to change your color for that season or whatever, just change the tray without having to buy a whole new table.
How do you actually use these pieces? You're an interior designer. I've got no clue about design work. But when you have pieces like this, how do you decide what to surround it with?
I think simplicity is best.
Okay.
So just, take one of these beautiful centerpieces, just put it on the table with maybe some coffee books, which we've also got in the store, new beautiful design books and seascape books and those kinds of things.
So this is more living room type of?
Yeah, it's more living room. But you could also, these ones are sort of this range, which this is a lobster and a starfish, could easily be on a bathroom with some soaps in it or something like that.
Well, speaking of a bathroom, you've also got some design tips for bathroom or powder room.
Yeah, we do. So we're very excited about this new product that's in the at BDC West at the Old Fort Bay Shopping Centre. It's a vinyl wallpaper. So if you wanted to spruce up your bathroom, you can do it really easily with this wallpaper. We have a number of different styles. You can go for something that's really sort of modern, something that's more organic, something that's really tropical.
Wow.
I think like this one that we've got here. Something really glam if you wanted to sort of do a gold style. Fun flamingos. You can see the flamingos there. It's not a bathroom setting. Just to hang on to this one, what we have is, can we go back one? Is to go into, if you want to have got a really narrow bathroom, you can just do one wall. So you don't have to do the whole wall to get the impact. You could just do one wall, like here we've got just the sort of brick style wallpaper. Or if you've got a really, really small room, do the whole thing. It kind of hides the fact that it's a really small room because you get lost in the wallpaper and in the texture.
Can you mix these wallpaper styles?
You can mix them. You could mix them with, maybe you could have those two together, so you've got something that's quite organic in the grass cloth and cactus. And cactuses are really trending this season, so you'll see lots of other types of home decor stuff out and about.
It's kind of surprising. Wallpaper, we haven't used it as much, at least I haven't seen it as much in recent designs, but apparently it's again.
Wallpaper is definitely trending, and we have the book. We have some product at the store, but there's a whole range of different styles that you could use. They've got papaya here. They even offer for the chinoiserie ones like this one that you can have it specially work with the designer that manufactures the paper and have it specially colored to suit your room decor if you wanted to do that. But I would just go and have some fun with Geometrics are really trending as well. So I would just, have some fun with it.
What's the first set of things you begin to think about? You walk into an empty bathroom or
Right.
powder room.
Right.
Does the structure, does the architecture, I mean, what are the things that go into a thought process in terms of decorating?
For sure, the structure and the shape of the bathroom,
Okay.
and also the function. You've got to be considerate of where the basin is going to be, where there's going to be lots of water, and just lighting is really important as well. To get the right light, the right temperature light, also makes a huge difference for the bathroom.
So when you talk about the right lighting and so the appliances as well also factor into what type of wall? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, certainly the appliances, but just really to create the mood. If you walk into a bathroom that's just one monotone light all the way through, it's a little bit harsh as well for ladies. The fluorescent light is a little bit too much. So just trying to create some mood and some drama, maybe put some sconces on the walls, and just try, I always think to put a silk plants is another really great trick. The quality of silk plants today is so fantastic that you could put an orchid in a beautiful maybe a simple white pot, and you don't have to water it, and it looks real.
Yeah. For persons who aren't familiar with the Bahamas Design Center, how would you describe, the store?
So we have 3 stores. The original store was Bahamas Design Center, and we're really transitioning towards BDC Living, which is really a lifestyle. So we have the original store was on East Bay Street, which is much more Indonesian coastal style furniture and home decor. The BDC West is more high-end design, but also gifts. So this is where we base a lot of this sort of specialists. We have our special interior design consultancy is based there. If you want a little bit of advice, you can always go to the store and ask Julie. And then we have the newest store is BDC Home at the Airport Industrial Park, which is essential housewares, and I call it really useful stuff. So we try to refine it to great design, good quality, and as best price as we can get it.
Well, let's talk about prices just a little bit, because again, when we think about wallpaper, you're transitioning, say, from regular tile type of look. What would be the cost of trying to outfit your bathroom with something like that?
You got me on the spot here, because this literally just came into the store yesterday.
All right.
So I would go in and have a look, but you really got to outweigh. It's not just the cost of the material; it's the cost of the labor, the time that it takes. It's very quick. This, all you need to do is to paint the wall with a matte finish, and you can put this up yourself. And it's also removable, so if you don't get it quite right in the first place, you can sort of pull it off and put it back in the right spot.
Is there special cure that you do? I mean, once you put it up?
No, that's it. It's just you squeegee it on, just as you would do. You can either use your credit card or a squeegee or something like that, and you just position it.
Multi-use credit cards.
Yes, exactly.
And in terms of regular cure, you just wipe it down.
And then you just wipe it down. Yeah.
Great. Well, listen. Once again, give us the details on where the stores are located and telephone contacts.
So the main contact is 393-1444. That's the East Bay Street store, BDC Outlet. BDC West at the Old Fort Bay Shopping Centre, and BDC Home. And let me just say that tomorrow is the last day of our 20% off store-wide sale for all 3 stores. So really trying to beat that, get in there. And
Tomorrow's the last day for a lot of things.
It is. And all of these products are out on display at the West store.
All right. Thank you very much.
Great.
You're also on social media.
Also, we're on
I get
Facebook,
it all the time. Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, all of that.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming back on Bahamas
Thank you.
Sunrise.
Thank you.
We've been with the Bahamas Design Center. We'll be right back.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
The quickest way to double your money is to fold it in half and put it back in your pocket. Or you could head to Super Value and quality supermarkets for great savings like Hunt's Barbecue Sauces, 18-ounce size 2 for $3. Center Cut Pork Roast and Chops, $1.99 per pound. Hunt's Ketchup, 35-ounce bottle, $1.89. Value Time Towels, 1 roll, 99 cents. Red Seedless Grapes, $2.99 per pound. Carolina Pride Turkey Breast, 8-ounce, $3.69. Save more at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev. You and us together.
I always wanted to come back to the College of Bahamas. I wanted to be a faculty. When the opportunity came for me to be Vice President of Operations, I said, well, let me try that first. It makes me proud because I was here before. I feel as if now I'm sort of like a beacon for those students who are here to say, hey, listen, I can actually be a Vice President. I can actually be one of the big leaders at the university. I'm Ronnie Stevenson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
The laughter and smiles are real this morning because the Spot 242 is in the house. The Spot 242 is a local group utilizing the art of improv comedy to spread the gift of laughter and provide social commentary on Bahamian culture and society. And here to tell us more about the group is Inside Out Productions. We're happy to have the marketing manager, Francesca Saunders, with us, along with cast members Aaron Green and a face that you may be familiar with, Mark Daniels. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning, Star.
Morning.
Here we are.
Morning, Mark.
Back again.
Back
I told
again.
you I'll be back. Yeah, right in the parking lot.
Phil and I quoted you this morning talking about it being dead wet. Dead wet. And certainly you brought that humor even when you were the host, co-host with me at Bahamas at Sunrise. And it's humor that we see whenever we come out to the Spot, which has been around for some time now. For those that may not know, because they had to live under a rock far away from Justice Gardens, let us know about the history of the Spot 242.
Well, the Spot started in 2003. It was founded by Jason Evans and the support of a number of his lifelong friends, including Leah and Anku Eneas. They first performed in, I think, King and Knights, Cable Beach Strip, and they started actually as a fill-in for a musical act called Spoken Tones. Right? And so they would just bring their life experiences to the stage, generate some humor, keep the crowd going while the band was recharging.
And now, that was 2003. This 15 years, y'all.
We all.
15 years of the Spot.
Y'all are like 85. Fountain of Youth.
Fountain of Youth, right? You certainly look the Fountain of Youth, Aaron. But you guys have been doing improv theater for 15 years. That's a major accomplishment. Why improv theater? What is it about improv that makes the Spot 242 something unique?
Well, so back when the Spot started, back at, as Aaron was describing, I was in the crowd. I was a fan, much like many of the other people who are now cast members. And one of the things you just appreciated was kind of like the gloves off approach, the unscripted approach, and that it was relevant to what was going on at the time. And what it does for improv when you are in the crowd is that the cast is pretty much holding up a mirror to the crowd and to society and reflecting what it is that we see every day and giving you a chance to laugh at it. There are some serious things that happen in our society that we don't get to laugh at or shouldn't laugh at, but the Spot creates this environment where we could come in a shared space and talk about these things in a comical way, and when you leave, you know, sometimes you think about a joke 2 days down the road, where it's been like, you know what? I just got what they were saying. For persons on the stage, for me, it's a release. You know, I, just like other persons who may notice the ills in society, the comedy in society, the unique things that are Bahamian, to be able to deliver that in a way that's unscripted and that draws from a well of energy and chemistry that the cast has, it's unlike anything other. It's our Bahamian Saturday Night Live. We can go even further back in Living Color.
Okay,
Yeah.
all the way there.
We getting all the way there.
Improv teaches a number of things, right?
Okay.
It teaches people how to navigate the world around them. It teaches them how to learn, right? How to pull information from your environment and how to use it appropriately. Improv, though, is really important because it teaches us how to imagine again. And as an ensemble, right, as a cast, it teaches you how to grow or use your collective imagination, which is really important for nation building, vision building, organizational work, families, maintaining family structures, and imagining yourself as a part of something greater than you, right?
Okay, excellent. I mean, when I think about the courage that is necessary to just go on stage and express oneself, not knowing will you get the laugh, will you not, I think it builds a certain amount of character as well, just because you have to face your fear. You have to stand up in front of people and really engage in this dialogue.
Absolutely. And it teaches you how to fail and keep moving forward, right? The Spot is the only improv troupe in the country and has been running as such for a number of years, right? And, a lot of people watch the show and are not certain whether it's improv. And I think that's a testament to a cast that's not afraid of failing.
Okay.
Right? Because not every joke is going to be funny, and I'm a testament to that, right? I often have to sign contracts to own my staleness, right? But you learn a degree of self-confidence, and you push forward no matter what, because you have an audience that is paid to be entertained.
Okay.
And what the Bahamian audience appreciates is when you keep trying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you would know about that, Francesca. Marketing for this troupe for some 15 years now, moving with them from the Dundas to Nirvana. Now you guys are on cable TV. What does it take in terms of the effort to continue to reach the Bahamian public?
We just have to constantly talk about the show because every single time a cast member goes out there, someone recognizes them from the show. Someone knows a line, someone knows a character, they know something. Even for myself, even though I'm backstage, I was on stage for maybe 2 seconds one season and people recognize me from being on stage for 2 seconds. And so it's like we're embedded in people's minds because we do something that's very unique to society and entertainment. And the SPOT is an acronym. It's an acronym for Spoken Performers of Thought. Okay. And so things that we're thinking, we're going to be the ones to say it and put it on stage. Some things may go over people's heads. Some things may be a tad bit offensive to certain conservative people, but all in all, there's a message behind everything that we do in addition to the laughter that we're bringing forward. And so over the years, all we do is try to improve upon that. Okay. We've been working with the Dundas Theater now for quite some time. And so we just want to continue on with that relationship. We want to take the show on the road. We want to go to the islands. People in Freeport are talking about us. People in Abacoa, Luther. Yes, they know. They know about us. And so we just want to just keep growing and expanding and getting better. We have a great relationship with our TV now. The show is on air. And so with the upcoming season this August, we will be recording that season as well for the following year. Okay. And so we're very excited about that. We're doing 3 shows this season. Okay. And the shows will be August 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. That's a Saturday at 8 p.m. at the Dundas Theater. Okay. And so we just want everyone to come out. Tickets will be $20. They can inbox us on Facebook or IG for reserve tickets if they wish to. And so we want the public to come out. Our demographic is very wide, ages 8 to 80 and beyond. Kids, they enjoy the show just as much. All of the comedy that we do, we try it to make it family friendly. We really do. There is very clean. We don't curse. We don't use no vulgar language or anything like that. We're very respectful to the Bahamian public and what we stand for. And so we just want people to come, check us out, enjoy us, and, join us. Join us,
Definitely. Reiterate, we want you to come out to every show.
All right.
We promise you, every show is different. None of our shows are scripted, right? There's no page of jokes that we could turn to in a pinch. Every Saturday, a different show, new jokes, same cast, different characters. It's going to be a
Awesome.
blast.
And, sorry, I can just take this in there. And if you love it on TV, you'll love it live in
You
the
will.
theater.
You will. I love it live, and I always try to make at least one the spots. Of course, that's happening this August. We can follow you guys on Facebook, right?
Yes.
All right, so you can follow them on Facebook for more information at The Spot 242. So awesome to have this crew in studio this morning. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. Our TV partners, we're going to be back with more after this commercial break.
So who really own a Nassau container port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too.
I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's been on all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday.
That's right, fabulous Friday. It might be dead vet outside, but it's pretty exciting inside, actually.
It really is, Phil. I have had the opportunity to speak, of course, with those amazing students whose stories are so inspiring.
I listened in while you were talking, and you know, things like plane tickets, and you know, Marlon Johnson's on next. We can talk to him about that.
Yeah, no.
But certainly, listen, before the show is over, she will have a plane ticket.
No, she will, and I think that's where it talks about like the village raising the child and our need to be a community. These young people have thrived against all odds, and if we want to see our communities continue to thrive, we have to uplift them.
Absolutely,
a plane ticket, some grocery money. You know, we can do it. We can do it.
Listen, we have the means. It's just a matter of utilizing mediums like this to make some things happen. So if you're watching the show and you're listening to these stories, and you have the ability, to whom much is given, much is expected. Let's make some of these things happen. In fact, what Mama Mo should be doing is putting together that list of things that these students need, and just put it out there. Put it out there. I guarantee you, just like how Bahamians respond when it comes to hurricanes and being people will jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna remind Mama Mo to make that happen. Listen, we still got more to come in the second half. As Phil mentioned, Marlon Johnson is here, the financial secretary. We're gonna be talking to him some more about that budget. I hope Phil will ask him for me why we're charging VAT in the family islands below the poverty line. Just putting that out there.
He's watching. He heard it already.
And so Phil's gonna get that answer for me. But in addition to that, we're also gonna be talking to some more young people. We've got the winners in the pop section of the Clement E Music Festival here, and I'm excited to hear them sing.
Oh, absolutely. I was listening, before the show started. They were doing their thing. And
sound check.
It's going to be really, really great. Is Mark still upstairs? Is Mark still here?
Mark says he's always here, like
He's
just
in the
hiding
parking lot?
behind a tree in the parking lot, waiting for one of us to
Mark,
meet
I
him.
didn't see, but listen, good morning, man.
Thanks for staying with us so far. We've got more to come, but we're going to take a second look at weather before we get to any of that good stuff. Here he is, Mr. Godfrey Burnside.
Gee.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Saturday, those winds become southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, those winds are variable at 10 knots or less, seas less than 3 feet over the northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet the central Bahamas, and 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Yeah, tides. You can expect a high tide at 8:22 this morning. Next low tide will be at 2:22 this afternoon. High again tonight at 8:44. Sunset at 8:02 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 6:23. UV index 9. Your water temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase, full moon. Extended look. That high pressure builds across the island. So we're looking at partly sunny, hot and humid through the weekend with a chance of 1 or 2 showers by afternoon. High temperature reaching 91 degrees in the lower 90s at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up in your phone. Look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Bahamas the Sunrise will be back right after this commercial break.
The quickest way to double your money is to fold it in half and put it back in your pocket. Or you could head to Super Value and quality supermarkets for great savings like Hunt's barbecue sauces, 18-ounce size 2 for $3. Center cut pork roast and chops, $1.99 per pound. Hunt's ketchup, 35-ounce bottle, $1.89. Value Time towels, 1 roll, 99 cents. Red seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Carolina Pride turkey breast, 8-ounce, $3.69. Save more at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sunoil Bahamas.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. The 2018-2019 national budget was presented in the House of Assembly just under a month ago, and it has been the talk of the town ever since. We are very pleased to be joined this morning by the Financial Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Marlon Johnson. I was trying to remember his middle name so I could say all of those names here this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. But MJ, good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good to be here, Phil. Thanks.
You've been doing the rounds.
Yes.
Doing a really good job, taking those blows as well.
Yes, well, you know, it doesn't surprise me. Anytime you're talking tax, and tax increase in particular, it doesn't make you a very, very popular person.
I mean, the budget obviously spoke to many different things, but the thing that obviously, the elephant in the room, is the increase in VAT.
Right.
Why does the government feel, and you've said this over and over, but why does the government feel that this was necessary at this point in time?
I think, you know, as we have said over and over, the government got to a point where it recognized that the amount of money that it was taking in was year after year after year far less than the amount of money it was spending. And that's when you spend more than you take in, you have to fix that. And so the short answer is, after looking at any number of things, after cutting back the budgets, you know, about half of the budget heads, half of the agencies have less money this year than last year. Looking at all the alternatives, the government ultimately determined that in order to fix this issue once and for all, there would need to be an increase in taxes, and taxes in several ways. With VAT tax, immigration fees have doubled. Of course, we've had the gaming tax and the like, and several other fees. So the idea was to make the adjustment now to avoid a much, much bigger problem down the road.
And 3 years, I mean, it seems a bit of a time crunch, self-imposed, of course, but you know, three year to come to a balanced budget, could we not stretch that out over time?
Well, that's often the point I'd make, that yes, certainly as an option, the government could have looked for longer terms, but one of the things we try to explain to people is that we had a structural issue that was urgent. And in the sense that wherever, the longer we put that off, you know, let's say we extend it out to 7 or 8 years, in each of those years, we would have to be borrowing more money than we're doing now. And when you borrow more, your interest payments go up. So ultimately, stretching it out would have only meant that final adjustment would have still had to be painful. And that's what I think people need to understand, that there would have to have been an adjustment at some point over and above whatever number people think. So the number, the 12% VAT came as a result to realize that it was something that was manageable. It doesn't balance our budget immediately. It's still 3 years. It's still on the basis of the economy growing. But do that, if that happens, and when that happens, it sets up the economy really for long-term success.
You know, we talk about balancing the budget, and obviously this has been the argument, but why is a balanced budget so important? I mean, people still don't quite understand that. What are the implications if it's not?
You know, I think we have seen across our region and across the world what happens when countries consistently ignore the need to balance a budget over time. There are times in an economy, in an economic cycle, when you do run deficits. If you're going through a recession, if things are tough, if you've had a major catastrophe, you do have to sometimes borrow. What had happened in the Bahamas, though, Phil, is that for the last 50 years, pretty much, almost every year we were running a deficit. So what would happen, and that meant that our debt was building up. Every child born in the Bahamas today, when a doctor's hospital up the road, or PMH, or the Rand in Freeport, is being hit with a $20,000 bill that they will have to pay off. And they're born into this, and if we delay this, if we keep running deficits, the burden on our children, the burden on us as we get older becomes bigger. So when we balance our budget, what we do is we actually are preserving the standard of living for our kids down the road, because we're paying our bills today. And we see examples of what happens in countries that don't get to that point. You end up having to make substantial sacrifices that really, really impact severely your standard of living and your economic prospects.
Well, let's speak about one of those countries, I mean, because it's been brought up before, and we've been compared to Barbados in the past. But is there really a threat of devaluation of the Bahamian dollar? And what could that mean if we ever got to that point?
Well, there's no imminent threat. Luckily for us, we're in a lot stronger position than Barbados is. So there would be no imminent danger. But as I often tell people, what we have to remember is what I call the frog in the pot syndrome, where you know the boiling frog is that things are okay now, but a government has to be responsible and look 5 and 10 and 15 years down the road. And so even though we were not where Barbados is or some of the other countries, they are cautionary tales because they demonstrate what happens when that frog stays in the water too long and you don't make the adjustments. So I'm pleased to say that the foreign reserves holdings are strong, and we are not at the point yet, but we are a small, vulnerable economy. We're heavily reliant on a single export, which is tourism, and we are very susceptible to natural disaster in the form of hurricanes. It behooves us that much more to make sure that we are responsible and we don't get to a point where we're teetering.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about the other side of the equation. You know, obviously there's income, and then there's the expenses part. And if the government feels as though increasing, obviously, its revenue is an important target, but then could more have been done with regards to government decreasing its size, decreasing expenditure?
It's a valid question. So it goes back to the point I made just a little while ago. If you look at our budget, you would see that, and I invite Bahamians to go online and take a look at the budget. There are 50-something or 50 or so what we call budgetary heads, different agencies. Half of those, Phil, have less money than before. And I say that to say that, yes, that exercise was done to cut back the budget. The challenge, though, is that we had substantial bills that are still owed into the tune of $360 million. And these aren't loans. These are actual bills for services that have already expired. That had to be addressed. Secondly, we recognize that the year-on-year growth in interest, because we had been borrowing at such a rate, our interest bill went up by $90 million in 1 year. You have $360 million in bills, you have $90 million in arrears. And when we look at the government commitments that were understated in previous budgets, that added up to over $70 million. Now, I throw out all those numbers to say that even with the cutback, you're still faced with a large bill that you could not get around.
So we're a step or two away from being an ICU as an economy, right? So obviously there's a lot of businesses, I mean, whether it's a real estate association or the gaming sector. But I'll just give an example of the real estate association. So VAT exempt status implies that, the 12% is now not recoverable. But yet the stamp is still 10%. So it seems as though now you're double taxing sectors, and that's just one example.
So the Real Estate Association has made that representation. The government had taken the real estate market back to where it was pre-2015, meaning that before 2015 you paid 10% stamp duty over 100,000 and 2.5% under. So that it has reverted back to that. The implication for that, as you point out, is that that does adjust the cost factor for real estate. That's a reality. The government, in looking at all of that, felt as though it was affordable because what it did was it simply moved the real estate market back to where it was in 2015. So there are some unrecoverable elements in the VAT exempt status. The government will continue to look at this because, again, the Real Estate Association has made representation.
And the Developers Association.
And developers
and speaking in the papers.
about it. So one of the things the government did do for the Developers Association, though, was to allow them to, at least for projects that are in train, to keep the VAT to 2019 to adjust that. But you're right, I think that is a reality that will affect the cost of real estate, but the cabinet would have considered that. It's important to note too that, as the Deputy Prime Minister and other ministers would have said, is that the government remains open to adjustment. You know, you make policy, and if the policy has unintended consequences, certainly the government will go back and revisit it, and even revisit it as soon as the midterm budget.
All right. So July 1st is just 2 days away.
Yeah, right.
So obviously you're making the rounds.
Right.
What's next? You guys have published some information packets, but what's next?
So really, of course, we go into the July date, and July 1st. So of course, the expectation, and just to let your viewers know, is that come Sunday, they should see the increased VAT on their receipts for most of what they do.
Right.
We did have an issue with insurance. People were asking about insurance. Some people went in to pay their July premium early, and they realized they got hit with a 12% bill. But again, that's the law, because for a service, the VAT is applicable for the month or the period in which the service is consumed.
Right.
And so if the service is being consumed in July, the new VAT rate would apply. Similarly, if they had a service in June, and the service ended in June, and they get billed in July, then that would attract a 7.5%. So it works both ways. It isn't anything unfair that's done. So customers would expect that. The next step is on August 1st, the bread basket items move to zero rate. So for the month of July, you will have to pay the new VAT on the bread basket items, but as of August 1st, that falls away. And we are also entertaining discussions, and the government is looking at the VAT inclusive versus VAT exclusive pricing. The merchants have said they prefer VAT exclusive, meaning that you only have the list price there and you calculate the VAT at the counter. The law now says that you have to include the VAT price, but we will engage the public and have a discussion as to see if the public is comfortable with the notion of VAT exclusive prices.
Well, listen, Marion, thank you very much for coming. The
Thank
time
you.
went by very quickly. Of course, this information is available on the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, please go to the Ministry of Finance. The budget information is there. The guidelines on the VAT changes are all there. Our Ministry of Finance Facebook page, look for some Facebook. There's a lot of information there. The supplement that we've done.
That you just said.
Absolutely.
Okay, listen, thank you very much. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with the Financial Secretary, Marlon Johnson. Over to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Phil. Well, listen, it is summertime, and you know what that means here in Bahamas at Sunrise. All through summer and into the end of August, we are going to be bringing you live performances every Friday, and we're very happy because this year we're making it extra special by featuring the soulful sounds of winners of the E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival. We're starting our show off right this morning with some of the most amazing students from Sierra Walker that you have ever met. I'm talking about the national winners in the pop category that tied with St. George's High School out of Grand Bahama, Miss Osa Oba and Miss Osa Etten, and they have got the master pianist with them, and his name is Mr. Kyson Miller. Ladies, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
A pleasure to have you guys with us. How long have you been singing?
Well, we've been singing for 12 years.
For 12
since
years.
we were 5 years old.
Since you were 5 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Has it always been pop music, or did you start off with gospel and moved into pop?
We started off with gospel. Yes.
Okay. And how did you feel going into this National Arts Festival competition? Were you nervous? Were you scared?
Well, we were a little bit of both, nervous and scared at the same time. But it was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
And how did it feel to win after all of that nerves and fears?
I felt like the hard work did pay off eventually.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you said hard work. So that means this actually took time. You guys
Yes,
didn't
it
just
took a lot of time.
Y'all didn't just pick up a mic one day and say, no, we're going to sing.
No, ma'am. After rehearsals, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, I want to see the benefits of that hard work. I want to see what has made you national champions in this. And so I'm going to move out of the way now. Let Kyson take it away on the piano and hear you lovely ladies sing.
Okay.
Driving by the bar tonight, I was stopping at the light, and you reminded me of old Posted at the coffee shop, we would sit and talk for hours. Never thought in a million things would change. Tied to my heart like a guide to a string, I follow you when the winds would blow. We were something, but you were fronting. Now I'm sitting here wishing I could get you out of my head. Baby, I tried, but I can't unlove you. Nah, nah, nah. You know you got your hooks in my soul. Feels like I'm dying slowly, all because you and your love will never let me go. Haunted by the picture frames, I thought I could touch your face. Memories can really be held sometimes. I thought I could walk away, but it ain't that easy, babe. When you're curled up in the lonely every night. We were something, but you were fronting. Now I'm sitting there wishing I could get you out of my head. Baby, I tried, but I can't unlove you. Nah, nah, nah. You know you got your hooks in my soul. Feels like I'm dying slowly, all because you and your love will never let me go. I keep turning the page and I turn off the lights, but I'm back in the same old place 1,001 times. Takes all the breath out of me, I just can't complain. I can't do this no more. Baby, I tried, but I can't unlove you. Nah, nah, nah. You know you got your hooks in my soul. Feels like I'm dying slowly, all because you and your love will never let me go. And your love will never let me go. And your love will never let me go.
All right.
Excellent. And now I see why you all are the winners. And of course, Tyson on the piano.
Good job, bud. You just
Phil, it has been a fabulous show. We hope that you enjoyed it. And we hope that you will be back with us on Monday.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss that show either.
No, it's going to be a great one.
Excellent job, ladies.
Thank you.
All right.
So make sure that you have a safe weekend, and we will see you right back here on our TV, channel 212 at 6:30 a.m. on Monday.
Peace.